The next morning, Yongguo awoke and stepped out of the stone house. The night before, veiled in thick darkness, he hadn't seen clearly at all. But now he beheld a world of vibrant, dripping green, where flowers bloomed like spun silk. The scenery along the way was absolutely breathtaking, a secluded realm of rare, tranquil beauty. White cranes and deer roamed freely. Pine squirrels and little rabbits darted about, completely unbothered by the presence of a stranger. He breathed in the fragrant air, his thoughts drifting. The young woman he'd just met had told him the name of this place. Love cannot be cut off, he thought softly. The valley is named Passionless, seeking to sever love and passion. And yet, passion follows the human life. Wherever there are people, there's love. Therefore, in this passionless valley, the love flowers bloom in absolute abundance.
Part 1. The Passionless Valley. Turning a few corners along the morning path, he found the girl in the green dress, Gongsun Lue, picking flowers. She greeted him softly, her voice gentle in the morning air, offering him 2 delicate blossoms for his breakfast.
He accepted them, wondering if flowers could truly be eaten. Following her lead, he tasted the petals. The entrance was sweet, fragrant like honey, carrying a slight intoxicating warmth that lifted his spirits. Yet after just a few chews, a bitter, stringent taste lingered. The girl warned him carefully. This was the love flower. Its beautiful branches were covered in tiny, hidden thorns. Just as he admired the bloom, his thoughts naturally drifted to his beloved, Xiaolongnu. Instantly, a sudden, agonizing pain struck his finger. The tiny wound flared with a torment so fierce, it felt as though his chest had been violently smashed by a heavy iron hammer. The girl spoke with a serene detachment. Her father, the Valley Master, had taught her that love itself is exactly like this flower. Its entrance is intoxicating and sweet, but its aftertaste is undeniably bitter. It's covered in thorns, and even with the utmost care, you just can't avoid being wounded. The beautiful, treacherous plant was a living manifestation of the inescapable pain of true romance. The toxic thorns react violently in the blood, forcefully rejecting any passionate memory.
Part 2. Chaos in the Great Hall. Later in the day, the quiet morning gave way to a gathering of heavy, unspoken tension. 6 guests were led to a massive stone house resting in the mountain's shade. As they entered the grand hall, the quiet poetry of the valley was entirely replaced by a brewing, dangerous, martial atmosphere.
The gathering in the hall was truly extraordinary. There sat Valley Master Gongsun Ji, composed, handsome, yet exuding a severe, untouchable strictness. Beside him stood Fanny Wang, a fiercely loyal disciple of short stature, wielding a heavy steel staff and an impossibly long weaponized beard that literally brushed the stone floor. Across from them were formidable foreign martial arts experts, Jinlingguo Shi, Xiaoxing Si, Nemo Singh, Ma Guanzhao, and Yin Kexi. And right among them sat Yang Guo, observant, sharp-witted, and helplessly lovesick. This heavy tension, however, was soon completely shattered by the arrival of the old urchin, Zhao Botong. From morning until evening, he turned the entire valley upside down. He had disguised himself in a stolen mask and the robes of Xiaoxiangzi. He engaged in a bizarre duel with Fanny Wang using a giant pair of scissors he'd pilfered. By afternoon, he was dodging attacks from 5 master martial artists swinging joyously from the high ceiling beams. Finally, when caught in a deadly, inescapable golden net, he escaped by the most absurd means possible, shedding his clothes entirely and slipping away completely unclad in a chaotic, comedic blur. Part 3. A Battle of Wits. As the old urchin vanished and the chaos settled, the focus quietly returned to Yang Guo. Taking up the discarded giant scissors, he stepped right into the center of the hall to duel the formidable, angry Fan Yuang. It was a battle of brilliant tactical logic against pure brute strength. Yang Gu observed his opponent's movements with calculating precision. He noticed a very subtle tell. To swing the heavy beard to the left, the old man's head had to first tilt to the right. Using this, Yang Gu feinted an attack to the right, forcing his opponent to dodge left. Then, with a swift, snapping motion, he slammed the giant scissors shut, severing over a foot of the opponent's prized beard.
Martial arts is about cleverness first, Yongguo murmured softly, with a calm smile. Having completely disarmed his opponent's pride, he effortlessly discarded the heavy steel scissors. Leaping lightly into the courtyard, he returned holding a simple, graceful willow branch. proving that true skill requires absolutely no heavy blade. Part 4. The Heartbreaking Reunion. But then, the atmosphere in the hall shifted completely. A profound, heartbreaking stillness descended as the emotional climax of the day slowly walked into the grand hall. A figure in white drifted slowly along the corridor outside. The pale sunlight upon her face felt as cold and clear as moonlight. Beneath her eyelashes, tears shimmered. She walked as lightly as if floating on water, her pale cheeks stained with quiet sorrow. The Valley Master proudly announced her to the hall as his new bride.
Yang Guo stood frozen, as if his acupoints had been sealed. Suddenly, he cried out her name in explosive, desperate passion. The agonizing poison of the love flower surged violently through his veins, reacting to his profound longing, and he violently coughed up blood onto the stone floor. Opposing his visible, explosive despair was the tragic restraint of Xiaolongnu. She feigned ignorance, coldly denying him. Yet internally, her hurt bled so deeply that she too trembled, coughing bright red blood onto her pristine white robes. The agonizing logic behind her choice was rooted in absolute, tragic selflessness. She believed their forbidden love would only bring societal scorn and endless danger to Yang Guo. So she chose to endure the entirety of the heartbreak alone. She desired for him to live a happy, unburdened life above all else, willingly sacrificing her own joy and embracing a lifetime of pain just to ensure his peace.
She turned her head away, letting out a long, quiet sigh. She spoke softly, reciting words that were a desperate lie, masking the deepest sacrifice. "I don't know you," she whispered softly. "I don't understand what you're saying. I am doing everything for your own good, so please, just go."
She lowered her head in silence, her heart twisting as if carved by 1,000 steel blades. In the quiet of the grand hall, an unanswerable tragedy lingered in the air, leaving a haunting question. Is true love found in holding on desperately, or in the agonizing choice to let go, entirely for the other's sake?